Hidden across Azeroth are stories most adventurers never stop to read. Tonight we'll sit by the fire and revisit a few of them. To begin with, we have The White Stag and the Moon, located in Thunderbluff. Into the brave hearts of her pure children, the Earth Mother placed the love of the hunt, for the creatures of the first dawn were savage and fierce. They hid from the Earth Mother, finding solace in the shadows and the wild places of the land. The Shuhalo hunted these beasts wherever they could be found, and tamed them with the Earth Mother's blessing. One great spirit eluded them, however. Aparo, known as Malorn to the Night Elves, was a proud stag of snow-white fur. His antlers scraped the roof of the heavens, and his mighty hooves stamped out the deep places of the world. The Shuhalo hunted Aparo to the corners of the dawning world, and closed in to snare the proud stag. Seeking to escape, the great stag leapt into the sky. Yet as his escape seemed assured, his mighty antlers tangled in the stars which held him fast. Though he kicked and struggled, Aparo could not loose himself from the heavens. It was then that Musha found him as she chased her brother, anxious towards the dawn. Musha saw the mighty stag as he struggled and fell in love with him immediately. The clever moon made a bargain with the great stag. She would set him free from the snare of the stars if he would love her and end her loneliness. Musha loved Aparo, and conceived a child by him. The child, a demigod some would claim, was born in the shadowed forests of the night. He would be called Cenarius, and walk the starry path between the waking world and the kingdom of the heavens. Next we have The Last Guardian, which can be found in Karazhan, Stormwind City, Loch Modan, and Westfall. The Guardian Egwene grew powerful over the years, and used the Tirisfal energies to greatly extend her life. Foolishly believing that she had defeated Sargeras for good, she continued to safeguard the world from the Demon King's minions for nearly 900 years. However, the Council of Tirisfal finally decreed that her stewardship had come to an end. The Council ordered Egwene to return to Dalaran so that they could choose a new successor for the Guardian power. Yet Egwene, ever distrustful of the Council, decided to choose a successor on her own. The proud Egwene planned to give birth to a son whom she would divest her power to. She had no intention of allowing the Order of Tirisfal to manipulate her successor, as they had tried to manipulate her. Traveling to the southern nation of Azeroth, Egwene found the perfect man to father her son, a skilled human magician known as Nihilus Aran. Aran was a court conjurer and advisor for Azeroth's king. Egwene seduced the magician and conceived a son by him. Nihilus's natural affinity for magic would run deep within the unborn child, and define the tragic steps the child would later take. The power of Tirisfal was also implanted in the child, yet it wasn't to awaken until he reached physical maturity. Time passed, and Egwene gave birth to a son in a secluded grove, naming the boy Medivh, which means keeper of secrets in the High Elven tongue. Egwene believed that the boy would mature to become the next guardian. Unfortunately, the malignant spirit of Sargeras, which had been hiding inside her, had possessed the defenseless child while it was still in her womb. Egwene had no idea that the world's newest guardian was already possessed by its greatest nemesis. Certain that her baby was healthy and sound, Egwene delivered young Medivh to the court of Azeroth and left him there to be raised by his mortal father and his people. She then wandered into the wilderness and prepared to pass into whatever afterlife awaited her. Medivh grew to become a strong boy, and had no idea of the potential power of his Tirisfalan birthright. Sargeras bided his time until the youth's power manifested itself. By the time Medivh had reached his teenage years, he had become very popular in Azeroth for his magical prowess, and often went off on adventures with his two friends, Lane, the Prince of Azeroth, and Anduin Lothar, one of the last descendants of the Arathi bloodline. The three boys constantly caused mischief around the kingdom, but they were well liked by the general citizenry. When Medivh reached the age of 14, the cosmic power inside him awakened and clashed with the pervasive spirit of Sargeras that lurked within his soul. Medivh fell into a catatonic state which lasted for many years. When he awakened from his coma, he found that he had grown to adulthood, and his friends Lane and Anduin had become the regents of Azeroth. Though he wished to use his incredible newfound powers to protect the land he called home, the dark spirit of Sargeras twisted his thoughts and emotions towards an insidious end. Sargeras reveled within the darkening heart of Medivh, for he knew that his plans for the second invasion of the world were nearing completion, and that the world's last guardian would bring them all to fruition. And lastly, we have hatred of the Centaur, which can be located in Thunderbluff. As the mists of dawn faded and the age of memory advanced, the demigod, Cenarius, went his own way through the fields of the world. The Shuhalo, Tauren, were sorrowful at his passing, and forgot much of the druidism he had taught them. As the generations passed, they forgot how to speak with the trees and the wild things of the land. The dark whispers from the deeps of the world drifted up to their ears once again. Though the children of the earth closed out the evil whisperings, a terrible curse befell the roaming tribes. Out of the black lands of the west came a horde of murderous creatures, the Centaur. Cannibals and ravagers, the Centaur fell upon the Shuhalo like a plague. Though the braves and hunters fought with the Earth Mother's blessing in their hearts, the Centaur could not be defeated. The Shuhalo were forced to leave their ancestral holdings behind, and roam the endless plains as nomads forever after. It was held that one day hope would return, and the scattered tribes of the Shuhalo would find a new home under the loving arms of the Earth Mother. And maybe, next time you pass one of these forgotten books, you'll take a moment and stay a while.